I'd like to welcome everybody to our November 2nd City Council meeting. If you could please rise for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And if you could remain standing while our Deputy Mayor, Karen View, leads us in prayer.
Heavenly Father, as we enter the Thanksgiving season, let us pause and thank you for the blessings surrounding us, for another day, for family, friends, for food on the table. You are the source of all good things, and we praise you for the simple things that bring us joy. Help us keep our eyes on you this season and every day, so our lives may be filled with praise and joy. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Take a seat. Lynn, can you read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement?
This is to advise the meeting notices covering this meeting have been sent and posted as required under the Open Public Meetings Act.
Thank you, Lynn. I'd actually like to ask Sue Clark to join me up front.
Split the difference.
And Carter's pretty short. Anyway, you first or me?
I was going to say a word and have you go first. Today, Sue and I are actually very honored to recognize a very special individual in our community, Carter Dorley. I'm going to turn it over to Sue to go first.
Okay, and I'm Sue Clark, and I'm representing the True Spirit Coalition. And this lovely lady, Camille DeCaro from Summers Point, has set up this foundation and this way to recognize people that do a lot of things. It's called an Opal Award. It's an outstanding people achieving and leading. And so she's gone through and she has selected Carter to be a recipient of the Opal Award. This looks like an ocean, and it would be the perfect solution and perfect award for you for all your surfing work. She calls it surfing and serving, for all the things you do for us as a food pantry and True Spirit Coalition supporting the community, food drives, money drives, all kinds of things that you do. You're such a wonderful young man. She read your story. She lives in Summers Point and said, I have got to recognize this person, and called us and said, we do this for you. And also for the parents that are part of it. Given a donation to the True Spirit Coalition in your honor. So we will take that and deposit it in your honor. Thank you so very much.
And I actually wanted to say a couple of words too. I've known Carter probably since just about the day he was born. Yeah, you got to come up here. We're going to talk about you a little bit. And everybody's seen the charity work that Carter does on the island. Absolutely amazing. And I have to say, I really have to commend Carter's parents. I know that Carter couldn't do all the things that he does without your support. And Carter wouldn't be the person he is if it wasn't for your example. We all look at Carter and see all the work that he does on the island, but I see Carter a lot and I surf with him a lot out in the ocean. I can tell you, Carter is probably one of the most outstanding human beings I've ever met. He is kind, he's compassionate. Anytime he's out there with other people in the water, he's always cheering them on. There's times people will be out there in the wave and dropping in on him. He's like, that's okay, go ahead, that's your wave. And he's always trying to bring out the best in people. And that's something that's very unique. A lot of times people do things because they want something in return. You do all of the charity work that you do because it's who you are inside. And it's something that is so special and something that we here in the city of Brigantine are so proud of. So Carter, we really want to commend you for all of the outstanding work that you've done. So thank you. And we have this proclamation. It says, whereas Carter Dorley has enjoyed surfing since he was 5 years old, but since the pandemic has caused schools and parks and playgrounds to close in 2020, He has decided to surf every single day. And whereas regardless of the weather, sun, rain, wind, or snow, Carter has made his daily trek to the beach for 892 consecutive days of surfing. And whereas Carter has an idea to help others while doing what he loves, so he created fundraisers to help many organizations, including the Funny Farm, True Spirit Coalition, Surf Aid, Heart of Surfing, the Humane Society of Atlantic County, the local food bank, Children in Ukraine, through through Save the Children Foundation, as well as children in our community and active U.S. military personnel. And whereas Carter has turned a setback into an opportunity to spread goodwill and kindness, and by doing so has made our world a better place. Now, therefore, I, Vincera, Mayor of the City of Brigantine, on behalf of City Council and the people of the City of Brigantine, do hereby commend and recognize and offer thanks to Carter Dorley for his outstanding service to our community. Carter.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you do for so many people.
Great job.
And thank you to Sue and Regina and Lynn for everything that you do through True Spirit as well.
Big strong.
Yep. I was just thinking that. Yep, yep, get ready. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next up, we have our triathlon discussion. I'll turn it over to Sari. You're on.
Speaking of the
Use the
mic.
microphone.
Oh.
Yeah, for the people at
Are you
home, so they
sure
can
I
hear
need
you.
it? Okay. So I wanted to just let everybody know what the sponsorship money and the final money and everything from the triathlon was. So we were able to raise $20,000 for right under 20 for the city for the services and public works and everything that was provided to host the event. In addition to that, we raised $8,000 in sponsorship money. Half of that is going to Green Whales, which is the 501c3 that owns the racing company. What we do with that money is we run the special needs program that had 17 kids go through it free this past year. We run the first grade program in Brigantine and Absecon. And just today, we decided that with the rest of it, we are going to be a flex period for Brigantine Community School. And for the months of March and April, the kids are going to have a choice to come do a water safety at the pool for their flex class. And we were just down with Glenn today. So that's in the works for the rest of it. As far as splitting up the money, we were able to give a donation to Rams, baseball, softball. I forgot my notes. 1 second. Rams, baseball, softball, the Food to Farm project at the school, the New Jersey Swim Safety Coalition, which I'm going to spend another second talking about, and the Brigantine LIT program. And then we still have about $800 that we have set aside that we're going to use for scholarships for Camp Brigantine. So that's the way the sponsor money came out. We picked a date for the next year's event. It's going to be August 5th. We actually are going to just make a couple changes to the cross at Frank's. But that's kind of it. And then the New Jersey Swim Safety Coalition. I just wanted to talk to you about it because I was messaging with Vince and with Kip Emick from the Beach Patrol. Me and my mom are involved in an organization that started during COVID to bring swim safety, and we just got a bill passed that's, do you remember what it's called? It's A-116, I think, but I could be wrong, about using bringing water safety lessons to all of the school children through the Board of Educations. And these are programs that we're already implementing in Atlantic City and Absecon and in Brigantine as well. So it's something that's really important to us. I had a big conversation with Kip, and they're really, really trying to get some ocean patrols involved. So after talking with everybody, Kip said that the donation from the Tri he'd like to use for this, and they're going to be the first beach patrol, and Brigantine Beach Patrol is going to be, they're going to be, what do you call it? Featured on their website. So for the big picture for beach patrols, I know Kip's going to, we kind of think that once Brigantine jumps on, that it's going to be a reason, and we'll be able to record the metrics there, not of drownings, but of saves. That's our plan for the beach patrol, of just what these guys are doing every day. You know, when you find out the percentage and you go back and forth about it, they're obviously doing great work. And then it'll also be a place where they'll be able to list lifeguard races and programs like our LIT programs and what the other beach patrols have to offer as a landing place for that. So that's where the money went, and we're excited to do it next year, kind of. And that's it. That's all I got. Quizzo with the Alps.
That's perfect. No, thank you very much. We really appreciate everything you did this year. You know, it's really great for us to be able to get the triathlon up and running, and I know you were a big part of that. We really appreciate everything you did to make this year's triathlon a success. You know, and really the triathlon was intended to be able to give back to the community organizations, and you did a great job with that. So on behalf of the city, thank you.
And then I didn't, well, that's all right. We're gonna have some process for next year so that any community organization that's interested in being considered for part of that sponsorship money can actually apply. I know this year is not, it's kind of, we want to make sure it's fair and it's spread around.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, so next up, we have Resolution 2022-214, and this is for executive session. Topics?
Matters of personnel, Mayor.
Okay. Lynn, can you read the resolution?
Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act permits the exclusion of the public from a meeting in certain circumstances, and whereas this public body is of the opinion that such circumstances presently exist, and whereas the governing body wishes to discuss matters of personnel, minutes will be kept, and once the matter involving the confidentiality of the above no longer requires that confidentiality, then the minutes can be made public. Now therefore be it resolved that the public be excluded from this meeting. This resolution shall take effect immediately.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much. Can we have a motion second?
So moved.
Lynn, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah.
Yes.
Motion carried.
All right, we'll be back in a little bit.
taking care of me right here. Someone's got to.
Couldn't redo it. I'm like, all right, I got the right angle.
Huh?
Is there a motion and second to return from executive session?
I'll make that motion.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, seeing none. I guess either Jim or Fred, can you guys summarize?
Executive session, mayor and council discussed a personnel matter. That result of the settlement agreement with the former employee. Additional information will be made available when council considers and passes resolution 2022-218.
Perfect, thank you, Fred. Can we have approval of our October 19th, 2022 council meeting minutes? We have a motion and second.
So move.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri?
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Kane?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Approval of requisition list, operating expenses, and payroll. We have a motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri?
Yes.
Haney?
Yes.
DeLucre?
Yes.
Kane?
Yes.
Reardon?
Yes.
Mayor Sarah?
Yes.
Motion carried.
At this time, we'll open it up to public comment. This is public comment on agenda items only. All right, seeing no public participation, we're going to close the public comment. We'll turn it over to our best practices, for our best practices discussion to Roxanne Tasto, best CFO in the state of New Jersey.
Thanks, Mayor. Yes, as we do every year, we have to fill out, basically, it's like a survey, and it's called Best Practices for the state. It's due to be filed by the 10th of November. We filed ours yesterday. This year, there were 59 questions on the survey. There were what they consider core competencies. There were 31 questions regarding that. The city scored 27 out of the 31. Best practices, there were 11 questions. The city scored on 7 of them. And then there were 17 unscored questions. As far as the core competencies, where we did not or could not answer a yes to those questions, it dealt with professional services contract and not to exceed on all of our professional services contract, which I don't do. Very difficult for me to estimate what some professional services will run. But I have had a conversation with Al, and he's gonna see if he can correct that situation and work, just make the best guess that we can based upon prior history. There's a question about cash flow, which I didn't do. User-friendly budget disclosure and monthly notices to customers for payment assistance for water and sewer, which I don't even know why you could afford or how you could afford to do that. But, and as far as best practices, there were 2 questions regarding electric vehicle and charging stations. And the typical one is our insurance brokerage fees and how they are calculated. And also a new question which dealt with surety bonding for judges in municipal court. They're questioning if we had extra surety coverage, which we did not. So all in all, we scored 30 and a half points out of this best practices. And we had to have reached 24 in order to obtain our full funding. So we are in good shape as far as that's concerned, and we can anticipate the full amount of our state aid.
Perfect. Thank you. Any questions from council? Now, Roxanne, I'd like to just thank you for all the work that you put into this. I know how dedicated you are to our budget and our finances here. So, and I know we've had some lengthy discussions about this too. So I appreciate all you do for at least keeping me informed and answering my questions. All right, if there's no further questions, we'll move on. Next up, we have our bond ordinance number 17 of 2022. And this is a public hearing and adoption. And this is bond ordinance number 17 of 2022, providing for the acquisition of a ladder fire truck in and by the city of Brigantine in the county of Atlantic, New Jersey, appropriating 1.7 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of 1,615,000 in bonds or notes of the city to finance part of the cost thereof. We have a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
At this time, we'll open it up for public hearing. Anybody wishing to be heard on the fire truck? All right, seeing no public participation, we're going to close the public portion. Any council comments? All right, seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Absolutely, yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Hany,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Oh, Paul, you got your truck.
You gonna call Tiger and tell him?
Yeah, you got to tease Tiger.
Got a big bow we can put in
All right, we have ordinance number 18 of 2022, which is an introduction. And this is an ordinance of the city of Brigantine and the county of Atlantic, New Jersey, providing for the cancellation of $44,061.22 in bond proceeds not needed for the original purpose, and to transfer such proceeds to the capital fund balance for future capital projects, and the cancellation of $4,391.28, appropriation not needed for its original purpose. We have a motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Yeah, questions or comments? Part of what we're doing is just kind of cleaning up the old finances, especially too with our new CFO taking over. I know Roxanne wanted to make sure that everything was taken care of, closed out, so we can kind of start fresh. All right, if there's no questions or comments, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Hany,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Next up, we have Resolution 2022-215, and this is a resolution of the City of Brigantine authorizing the award of contract to Global Industrial for the purchasing of Memorial Park benches utilizing the Omnia Partners National Cooperative, and this is in the amount of $13,227.49 for 25 benches, including shipping and handling. We have a motion and second.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Any questions or comments? I know this is a great program and a lot of people love these benches, and we're glad to see this moving forward. So John, thank you for all the work done, and Roxanne and Jim getting this off the ground and moving again. All right, if there's no questions or comments, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Hany,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2022-216, and this is a resolution by the City of Brigantine authorizing the award of contract for planning, reconstruction, and design engineering services for beachfront parking lots located at 16th, 17th Street South, and 26th and 26th Street South, and 34th and 35th Street South and Ocean Avenue. This is for Dorn Engineering in the amount of $24,900. We have a motion second.
So moved. Second.
So part of what we're doing here is our beach parking lots obviously need to be resurfaced. We also, John, this will include the water and sewer lines to put bathrooms in for the parking lots that don't have it. And part of what we want to do too, one of the biggest drivers here of our tourism economy is the beaches, and we want to make sure that we provide bathrooms for those beaches. So we're starting that process now with the repaving process to run the appropriate equipment so that we can start to bring the bathrooms in after that. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Hany,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2022-217, and this is a resolution by the City of Brigantine authorizing award of contract for emergency water main replacement on Roosevelt and Quay. This is by Arthur Henry, Inc., in the amount of $39,088. Can we have a motion and second?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2022-218, and this is authorizing a settlement agreement with a former employee. We have a motion and second.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes. Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2022-219, and this is a resolution of the City of Brigantine, of the County of Atlantic, State of New Jersey, adopting and amending the 2022 spending plan, and this is for our fair share housing. We have a motion second.
Second.
For the fair share housing, when we first came up with our spending plan, this has to do with our market to affordable housing as well as the housing we're developing for veterans, for low-income veterans. We actually didn't anticipate having the revenue that came in through our COA fees that we do. Since there was such an increase over what we anticipated, we actually are taking this back before the courts of New Jersey in order to get approval to spend more money on that project. Now, this money doesn't come from taxpayers. It is a fee that's collected that is specifically for affordable housing. And rather than just let that money sit in that account, we wanted to make sure that we were able to invest it in this good project. And, one of the things I would say is when we're looking to do affordable housing, one of the things we were adamant on is making sure that we took care of our veterans. Our veterans have done so much for us. We wanted to make sure that whatever money came in, we could use to support veterans in our community. Since we did well with our revenue, we wanted to increase that. This is the first step of taking it back before the courts to approve that increase. Are there any questions or comments from council? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
I'd like to spend a little time thanking Roxanne. I know she worked really hard to put these numbers together. I think I tortured her with a million questions because I do question a lot of things. So Roxanne, I want to thank you for your patience. I want to thank you for putting this together. And I want to thank you for, like I said, just always answering my questions, especially for this. So I feel very comfortable voting for this. Yes.
motion carried.
Yeah, because I tortured her. I know why she's leaving. Resolution 2022-220, and this is for budget appropriation transfers. We have a motion second.
So moved.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
View,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2022-221, and this is a resolution authorizing the mayor and clerk to execute a federal aid agreement with the NJDOT, and this is for the Lighthouse District Streetscaping Improvement Program, and this is authorizing funding in the amount of $241,562.72. Can we have a motion second?
I'll make that motion. Second.
This is important for us. We've had a lot of success in our business communities. We've been making significant investments in all three of our business districts. And, this is really going to help us to continue to work hard here in the city of Brigantine to make sure that our local business economy stays strong. We've had a ton of new businesses open over the last few years. And I think that's really something that's significant. I've been reached out to by a couple different reporters who are doing stories about businesses in shore communities that are closed. They were very, very surprised that not only did we not lose businesses, but our businesses are growing. And I think that has a lot to do with how hard we work here on council. It also has a lot to do with our Chamber of Commerce and our business community itself. Everybody's really working hard to make sure that we stay successful. So it's important for us to go out to find grant money and to also reinvest in our business districts. Any questions or comments from council? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
Resolution 2022-222, and this is a resolution for the surplus municipal property sale. Can we have a motion and second?
So moved.
Questions or comments? Seeing none, can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
I think that bike on the list might be mine. I lost one a couple years back. I'm just kidding. Yes,
motion
I
carried.
could buy it back. There you go. Next up, we have our consent agenda. We have our VFW raffle license number 984. Motion and second.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Questions or comments? Can we have roll call?
You,
Yes.
Lettieri,
Yes.
Haney,
Yes.
DeLucre,
Yes.
Kane,
Yes.
Reardon,
Yes.
Mayor Sarah,
Yes.
motion carried.
All right, we have our council manager committee discussions. Go over to the,
Yield my time, Mayor.
all right, great. Turn it over to our department heads. Anything for us?
Yeah, I think if I understand it, is this your last meeting, Roxanne? So since it's her last,
Chief.
since it's her last meeting, I just want to publicly thank her for working with me and all the hard work that she does. But as a department head, I have to work with her one-on-one, and she's been very helpful and pleasure to work with. So thanks. And, I was a brand new chief 3 years ago, and she made anything that related to the budget very easy to work through, and she was always there. So thanks.
I'm waiting to see if you start crying. That's the goal for the night. I'm working on it.
She's gonna miss me.
The most.
She's got a little dartboard of you.
He knows where you live.
Yeah. All right, I'll turn it over to our deputy mayor, Karen Bew.
All right, first, before I forget, final farmer's market of the season will be Saturday, November 19th. The hours will be 9 o'clock to 1 o'clock. Come do some holiday shopping, get ready for Thanksgiving with some produce, and a lot of vendors will be there with holiday gifts. I also want to say that trunk or treat at the school was fantastic. I want to thank the organizers and everybody who came out, decorated their trunks and participated. Public Works was there, the police department, fire department, everybody was there. A lot of different organizations were there. It was really a great turnout. Weather was beautiful, and I think a good time was had by all. Yesterday, I was honored to represent the city along with School Superintendent Glenn Robbins, Sergeant Chris Hurst, and Detective Jim Powderly at the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office Conference on Combating Bias and Hate, which was held at Atlantic City's Stockton campus. It was the first time I had been in that building. It is absolutely beautiful. It was our new prosecutor, Brigantine's own Wheels Reynolds, hosted the event, which begins his Together We Can Stop Hate and Bias in Atlantic County campaign to make Atlantic County safer, to just make a healthier place for all who live here and work here. There were many wonderful discussions, speeches, and panels presented to the room full of local law enforcement people, educators, council people from all different cities. It was really a wonderful turnout and a great presentation. especially this time. And one of the panelists even mentioned the hate mail that, or little packets that were distributed in Brigantine. So that really opened the eyes of a lot of people. And it was just really a great presentation. I want to thank Prosecutor Reynolds for inviting everybody to a great presentation. I believe that's it.
Turn it over to Councilman Paul Lettieri.
I have nothing for the second ward, but again, congratulations on your leaving us. I can't believe it. I don't know what you're going to do for martinis on Wednesday nights.
Oh, she'll come.
You'll be sorely missed. And thank you so much for all you've done.
Turn it over to Councilman Dennis Haney.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Nice to see the lighthouse project moving along administratively. And soon some point we'll be breaking ground on that. Roxanne, we're going to miss you. Thank you for all your outstanding work. We're really blessed to have you. We could have never, ever had a CFO as wonderful and knowledgeable as you. Wish you the best. You're not going nowhere. You're going to be right here in Brigantine. So we're blessed to still have you, and we know we're going to see you around, and you're wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for everything.
Turn it over to Rick DeLucre.
Thank you.
Councilman.
Stan, I join my colleagues in thanking you for your service and enjoying our relationship, which had its ups and downs. But you did a wonderful job, and it's going to be tough for Al to fill those shoes. So congratulations on whatever comes next for you. And on a non-Roxanne note, everybody, if you don't vote, then you really shouldn't open your mouth. Let's vote. Spouting off on social media and sitting in front of the TV, yelling at it or cheering for it based on whatever commercial you're watching at the time doesn't mean anything. If you don't vote, you haven't participated, and somebody else is making a choice for you. Not that hard to vote. So please, sometime between now and next Tuesday, everyone, I encourage you to vote. And that is all.
Thank you. Go down to Neil Kane.
Don't have a whole lot. First, I want to congratulate young Carter Doley for all of his work. Great young kid. I'm glad he was recognized. Roxanne, I don't even know what to say. Going to miss you. You've been absolutely amazing. You taught me a lot. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. And go Phillies. That's it.
Phillies. Mike Reard.
Thank you, Mayor. Roxanne, hopefully you say best wishes. It's been fabulous. Learned so much from you through the years with going over the budgets and stuff. Miss you, but it's good to know you're right here. Now you can get to enjoy your time.
I'm still going to torture you. I got your cell number. You're not getting away.
Other than that, the Halloween parade on Sunday was fabulous, great turnout, great participation, well run, thanks to all the volunteers that made it happen. It was just a real enjoyable day. And then Monday night, Chief, great job with the police and all on Halloween. Just seeing the children and all and parents back there on the golf course there with the police vehicles riding around, keeping control on things. It's just such a great time. I had some visitors from out of town, and they were really, really impressed with the setup back there. And so great job on that and a lot of fun. If anybody needs any extra candy, I have a bunch at my house. I'll be happy to drop it off if need be. All right. Other than that, it's really great to see the Phillies doing so good and the Eagles doing so good. I know that when we have good teams at the top, it affects the youth sports programs here. I mean, Tom Rapici, the president of Brigantine Baseball and Softball, is doing an excellent job, and we've had so many more children sign up for the program than we have in the past. And I believe, besides Tom's enthusiasm for the program, the fact that we have soon-to-be World Series champions going through it helps the program. So, and then the Rams program is doing quite well too, and following after the Eagles. So that's that. And of course, what else can I say? Like Rick said, the election's coming up Tuesday. Encourage everybody to vote. I mean, I've said it before, but I'm sure, we have lowered the taxes for 6 years in a row now and.
Because of
we're gonna keep-
Roxanne,
Right?
because of Roxanne.
Because of Roxanne also. So we're gonna keep trying to do the best we can. And if there's any problems, of course, my number's always on the front page of the Brigantine Times. You can give me a call about anything you want, in the future, Jim Bennett, yeah. And that's it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thanks, Mike.
Here, and a shout out to the
One last
sports
thing,
organization.
We have the Veterans Parade this week.
That's right.
Also on Sunday morning, right? What time is that? At, 11 a.m.? 11. Right, at City Hall here, right? Right.
Yeah, we're meeting here right at City Hall or at 15th Street and then marching down to the Veterans Triangle.
Opens at 10:15, parade starts at 10:30.
Right.
The service at Memorial starts at 8.
And I know Mario is doing an excellent job with that also. A couple marching bands, pipe bands, a lot of different bands. So I encourage everybody to come out for Veterans Day and show support and all. It's be a fun day. The weather forecast is phenomenal.
Perfect. It's always beautiful in Brigantine.
The bubble.
Yeah, the bubble. We had that bubble for Halloween.
Yes.
I saw that rain up in Philly. First of all, I'd like to thank the chief and the police department for Halloween. I think there was a great police presence out there, and I think it, made people really feel safe. And I think also too, with having the cars out patrolling, I think it made a lot of drivers slow down and really pay attention to the kids because they're excited. They're zigzagging down the street, and we really appreciate seeing that out there. I think one of the greatest compliments I got is somebody who had saw the posts that were online, saw the presence you had out there, grabbed a hold of me and said, "You know what? I see all the stuff that your police are doing, and this is Halloween done right. So please tell the chief and the department that we appreciate it." So I wanted to pass that along. Same thing with trunk or treat. It's good seeing all our city departments out there. And I think it's important. It's important for our kids and our community to come together. I know we started that tradition during Sandy. But there's a lot of parents, especially parents who work in the casino, who might not be able to do Halloween on Halloween. So having that opportunity to go with them during trunk or treat really means a lot to them. And that might be a side of it that people don't get to hear, but it's a side I get to hear from talking to some of the parents. And it's good for our children to interact with a lot of our, city departments or teachers in different ways and in positive ways. And I think you'd be surprised how much an influence that all of you have on their lives. For the latest update too, on the ocean wind projects that are going on out there, we have been in communications with the governor's office about moving them further back out. The governor had said on a show called Ask the Governor that 9 miles were too close and that they were going to go further out. First couple conversations with the governor's office seemed very, very positive. Although the governor hasn't directly coming back and taken his words back, I can tell by the tone and rhetoric that is coming out of the governor's office that I think that I don't think he intends to keep his word on that. So I will keep people posted. Like I said, they keep telling me they're going to get back to me. They keep telling, it's like, when you hear the check's in the mail, but the check's been in the mail for about a month. That's where I kind of think we are. Reached out to Palestina's office. They're going to try to meet with them. They sit down once a week and talk directly with the governor's staff. I let them know our concerns. I said, either way, just give us an answer. If the answer is yes, let's get it done. If the answer is no, just be open and honest, and we'll keep moving forward. So we'll keep people posted on that. I will tell you, one of the biggest challenges with this is actually with a lot of the elected officials. There's a lot of elected officials in the county and the state who do not fully understand the gravity of what these windmills mean. And I think that's a big part is trying to educate people. They hear the rhetoric, they hear the hype, they hear what could be. But once you start to lay out the real facts to them, they all have the same reaction. That's not good, is it? We're like, no, it's not. And Van Drew just came out with a statement. I know Mrs. Phillips had asked what his official position was. He has put out that he believes that this is being rushed through very, very fast. There's a lot of environmental questions that need to be answered before this can move forward. And he has said that in the next Congress, after this election, in the next Congress to take place, is he's going to hold hearings down in DC to try to get the answers that our community and many other communities have. And there's a lot that needs to be answered for. So That's where we are right now. I think having him up to speed and having him taking a strong position will help to open the eyes of other elected officials. I know a lot of people are sitting on the sidelines and staying silent. And one of the things I've told a lot of elected officials, especially on the shore communities, once these things start going in the water and you start to see windmills the size of the Empire State Building out there and hundreds of them, people are going to come to you and say, why didn't you tell us? Why didn't you got to let people know what's going on. So we'll continue to work on that education process. For us, we have our beach replenishment that's coming up. As Congressman Banju announced a couple months ago, the Army Corps has approved that project and has approved the funding. I know we've been working back and forth with the Army Corps in trying to get that scheduled. Originally, the Army Corps was going to try to schedule us sometime in the fall. We actually asked if they would come in earlier. Typically, we try not to do that kind of work during the summer, but with the winter storms we've had, the amount of erosion we've had, and the winter storms we're going to have, the beach is going to be almost unusable. Our Public Works Department has done a heroic job keeping the beach paths open and keeping those beaches open and usable, but it's at the point where there's a couple more storms. There's not much more they can do. Army Corps has agreed to speed that project up as long as we were okay and understood that they would do work during the summer season. And we agreed to that. So they anticipate awarding their contract in April. They're hoping that work will begin either in late May or early June. The work will carry into the summer, but it'll be a full replenishment. We don't have the specific details yet, but they will get those out to us. Our goal is to have those beaches open and ready by late summer so we can enjoy at least part of the summer out there as well as the fall. One of the things I've told people, I know it's not the most convenient time to do this, but it was either do this and salvage some of the summer or not have the beach usable for the entire summer. So this was the best choice. And I want to thank our department heads and our city manager for making this work. So we do appreciate all of your efforts on this. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna start up here before you start crying, because I don't want to cry. I would say probably one of the saddest days for me right now is having you retire. I can tell you that Roxanne's heart and soul is the city of Brigantine. There is no one who works for this city harder than her. And I kid you not, I probably talk to her hours a week. I have so many questions. And I would tell you that I know for myself, for this council, and the entire city, we would not be in the shape we're in if it wasn't for her hard work and guidance. I'm happy for you to retire, but I am very sad personally. I'm glad you live in Brigantine because, not only are you CFO, but I consider you an amazing friend. You're a person I trust, a person I can count on, and a person that I know, no matter what's going on, you always have my back. And it's funny, and I haven't shared this with too many people, but when Andy Simpson was passing away, some of his dying words to me was that most loyal and trusted person in this city is Roxanne. He goes, I'm telling you, I know people, and she is the person you can go to whenever you need help. And he goes, and you put your trust in her, and she'll never steer you wrong. And I will tell you that Andy was an amazing judge of character, and he was 100% spot on who you are and how hard you work. A lot of our employees sometimes, 4:30, except for John, who works 24 hours a day. A lot of our employees, when it's time to go, they're out the door. There's so many nights that Roxanne's here 3, 4, 5 hours past closing time because of her work ethic, and she can't let things sit. It is her commitment to excellence that has made us great. So I love everything that you've done, and I am so sad that you're leaving. And I promise 2 things. 1, I'm going to continue to torture you. And 2, I'm going to make sure John paves your street.
Love you, Roxanne.
I wish I can. I'm trying to do my best. And for those of you that maybe don't know, as hard as you think I am a very emotional person. And sometimes it's hard to say what I feel, but I appreciate everything you say about me, but the one thing that I will always be thankful for was for you to give me the opportunity to come here and to get to know such a wonderful community. I used to sit here when I didn't live here, and I'd come to the meetings and I would say the hair on the back of my neck would stand up because I was so proud to be a part of what is experienced when you're here. And I am so thrilled that I got to be a part of it. And it was my honor to be here and to work and to do what I could do for this community. But I really seriously couldn't have done it without all of your support, your confidence. You always made me feel special, but made me feel like I could accomplish anything. And I couldn't have done it without your wonderful department heads. I say that all the time. I give them a hard time, but they take it. And they work with me. There's really never been a time that they haven't. And that isn't always how it works. So I am the one that feels extremely thankful for the experience and to be here. And I am sad to be leaving. But I wanted to leave at a time where I left you in good hands. You know, sometimes you feel like you just are not up to the task. And before it got to be a little bit more overwhelming, it was time for me to move on. But I am here. I live here now, and I'm thrilled to be here. And I do, with all my heart, I always thank Andy for what I say, rescuing me and allowing me the opportunity to be here. So thank you all.
Beautiful, beautiful. Roxanne. Roxanne, just in case if you ever need to speak to Mike, do you know how to get a hold of him?
Yeah.
Mike's, his number's right in the paper. there. Just look him up.
We're gonna put you on a bunch of committees at the
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere.
I have a feeling you'll be seeing me probably even more.
And if anybody needs a cake for any
Oh,
special
man.
occasion,
yeah.
Holy cow.
Roxanne makes the most gorgeous
Everything.
cakes and cupcakes. That'll be her new business. Yes, she will.
Incredible.
I want to know who's going to
Beautiful.
make your retirement cake.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. It's really only for my special friends and family, so you're all part of that.
No.
Thank you. All right, this time we'll open it up to public comment. Anybody wishing to be heard on any issue, please come up, state your name and address for the record. Yes, sir.
Hey, how are y'all? How are y'all?
Hello,
It's
how are you?
James. Been here once before, at 57 Heald Road. I am moving out soon, but my wife and I have lived here for past 3 or 4 years, and I've been coming here my whole life, 30 plus years. Just like you guys have an affinity for the island, it's a beautiful place. So I'm sad to be moving, but I still feel compelled to help the city where I can. And one of those issues that I keep hearing is about wind energy. And I just want to bring up what I've learned through my education and my career. So as you guys have all seen, over the past years that I've been in Brigantine, storms have increased a lot. We didn't used to have storms like Sandy happening with such frequency. And it's pretty scary because actually, according to NOAA predictions or NOAA estimates, if you just have 10 feet of sea level rise, Brigantine is no longer a city. So we really have to be careful. Given this information too, if you look at millions of years in history, at the same temperature that we're at now or that we're heading to, there was around 50 feet of sea level rise. So this is an issue I understand it's highly political and it affects a lot of different people, but I come here to tell you what I've learned about different types of energy, given my college education and given my work as an engineer. So right now, all across the country, there are local governments just like Brigantine that are putting restrictions on clean energy projects. And Brigantine in particular, given that it's very vulnerable to sea level rise, needs to be aware of these the facts that are actually happening and how Brigantine can both benefit and what the actual negatives are. I'm sure everyone's seen the different oppositions around town. I've researched a lot of these, and most of them are based in misinformation, with the exception of the one, that you're going to see it with your eyes. I understand that. But I just wanted to talk about some of the basic, very quickly, just some of the basic things that I've learned. So the first one is the endangered species. Obviously, I come here wanting to preserve the island. I also care about species as well. In the past generation, we've seen species decline globally at around 70%. That's just in my parents' generation. That's one human generation. So whatever we're doing now is not really working. The right whale is something that's endangered from building wind farms. And it's because the right whale is threatened by a few different things. One is entanglement by fishing vessels. And two is vessel strikes. And then the noise for building the actual wind farms is an issue too. But luckily, we don't have to go out here in the blind. There are already organizations that have done this, like the Block Island Farm, that have done this successfully. And you've been able to both install clean energy and also protect the right whale. And this was done using monitoring to ensure the whales are not close during active construction. And then also reducing and implementing a speed limit on project-related vessels to cut the risk of vessel strikes. So this is all, a lot of information I see is countering this. And what I wanted to share was a report. This is from a peer-reviewed journal of the Block Island Wind Farm. They've been doing this for the past 7 years. And contrary to what I've heard, this report talks about an increase of fish. They say there's definitely not a negative effect. If anything, it's positive, but it wasn't statistically significant. So actually fish, especially types like flounder and cod were seen there, and they haven't been there before. So it's actually realistic that some of this is positive for recreational fishing as well. So I brought this with me. I wanted to share it, and I just wanted to make the city aware of these, to make sure that as we're making really important decisions for the sustainability of this city, make sure that we're based in fact, not in a Facebook post. Please use what the experts are saying and try to do our best here to help. Because I care about the sustainability. I mean, again, I have so many childhood memories from coming to this place, and I've seen the damage that these storms do, and we really want to tread carefully and make sure that we're not in opposition to something that's going to need to be done at some point. Thank you.
No, thank you.
I can distribute. I just have these. It's just the abstract. This is This is just published this year. It's over the past 7 years about Block Island and the increase in fish that they saw. No negative effects on the local fish communities. And it's because, I'll just tell you real quick, it's because it creates like a reef effect. So when you have a reef, you have different types of nursery fish that are able to thrive there without having, a lot of predators in an open zone. So it was seen to help some of these species, and a lot of those are ones that we catch around here, want to catch recreationally. Thanks.
No, thank you very much. And just so you know too, for your knowledge, a lot of the information that we're using to base our decisions, it's not what comes from Facebook. A lot of the information that's been shared by this governing body to the community has come from Rutgers University, and Rutgers was hired by the windmill companies to do the environmental studies for them. So it's not based on Facebook, it's not based on missing information, it's real information from real scientists who were hired by the companies to research these. So that's a lot of the basis of our information. And some of the big questions we have to come up with too is like, the electromagnetic fields that'll come from this. And well, excuse me. So there's actually been some real research that's been done on this, especially in Maine, where the EMF fields have actually caused the lobster larvae to become deformed. And they were really worried about how it would impact their lobster industry out there. And we do have lobster fishermen here on the island. And a lot of the things too is there's a lot of questions that we have, and we just want to get these questions answered so we can make an informed decision about whether this makes sense for Brigantine and whether it makes sense for New Jersey. But even Rutgers had some significant concerns when it came to the cold pool that is actually off our coast. And they actually don't know what impact that having that many wind turbines in the ocean would have on the ocean currents. as well as the heat that'll be generated from the windmills that they themselves admit will increase the surface temperature of the ocean and could disrupt that cold pool. The problem that they have with a lot of this is there's been no windmill projects, I believe anywhere in the world, at least anywhere in the country, to this size. So a lot of the information is based on what they think could happen or computer generated predictions. So we just want to make sure that we get the accurate information. And a big reason that we're working with Congressman Van Drew, as he said, send us the questions you have, and I'll make sure that you get accurate information. So I don't think that anybody's trying to politicize this. In fact, I don't think Brigantine has taken an official position to say whether it's good or bad. Our position right now is this is moving quick. New Jersey has not put any guiding regulations in place like some of the other states. And we just want to make sure that whatever's done is done correctly, because you only get one chance at getting this right. And I think that is the position of our city. And we're trying to work with our elected officials, as well as both Orsted and Atlantic Shores, who have been more than willing to answer questions, more than willing to share information. They've been good community partners, but we just want to make sure that we get our questions answered so we can make that right decision. So I do thank you, and I thank you for sharing this abstract, and we'll definitely check it out and make sure that I study it. Sure.
There are studies out there that show, like, one of the longest studies, for example, about cell phone cancer, it took them 10 years, maybe, or it's a long time to figure out the effects of 3G. Right now, we're using 4G and 5G, so, you know, the obvious question is this rollout safe? And you are right to ask those questions, but we need to also realize that as we're contemplating those questions, there is also a military effect and continues burning the fossil fuels that really hurts our another there's a local loss at sea level rise. So it's really tough, but just make sure we also value that burning fossil fuel and what was the last one? I mean, I used to sell ice cream on Market, and I remember I saw so many mussels start to show up. Like, I don't know why that's happening. But those die-offs, and why we're reading about mollusks across the world. And is it from ocean acidification, from the warming temperatures?
Sure. No, thank you very much. We appreciate your time.
Jamie, I'd just like to say thanks for coming out and sharing your thoughts with us also on the windmill issues. I wish more people would do that, especially someone as young as you are and knowledgeable as you are, and haven't gotten to know you over the last several months. I'm sorry to see you be going to leaving, but anyway, I just honestly thank you for sharing this, because I can tell you, no one is working harder than the mayor on this issue. And from day one, it's been be open-minded, keep the lines of communications open so that we can have debate and discussion on it without getting whatever you want to say, political or not. But I could tell you from Long Beach Island down to Cape May, that both political parties from both sides are very concerned about this issue. And so that's, you know, that's the way it is. But thank you so much for, and I'll be talking to you soon anyway. So, all right, thanks.
I just wanted to say that, you know, right now, we're, like the mayor said, we're just trying to gather as much information as we can. And there's a lot of it out there. The problem is you've got experts on both sides of the issue. And sometimes you don't know who to listen to. So we have to come up with our own conclusions. But like the mayor's been saying, we've been going through the governor's office, going through Van Drew, and trying to get our questions answered. And that's what we really want, you know. So I don't think any decisions have been made as to where we stand, but we just want to get as much information together as we can, make a final decision with our community, and make the right choices. So I think that's where we're at. So it has been difficult with experts on both sides of the issues. and everybody chiming in. And we try to, when things get political like this, that's when it starts to get dirty. But hopefully, everybody can come together and do what's best for the community. And like I said, we appreciate you coming out and giving us your point of view. But thank you.
Yeah, I saw that. Absolutely. No, thank you very
Thank you.
much.
And I think another frustrating thing is that a lot of environmental groups that we've been expecting to hear from, we haven't. So hopefully, we'll continue to get more information.
Any other public comment? Yes, Mrs. Phillips.
In H. Phillips, 308 27th Street. Ms. Tusto, the garden club needs volunteers. I know you're interested in gardening, so perhaps you might want to consider that. You'd be welcome. Okay. The editorial in today's press concerns property tax relief in our state, which has the unenviable position of having the highest property taxes in the country. And you mentioned that in your radio ads. You praise Brigantine's affordability that you consider to be due to your efforts, but you continue to reject an opportunity with the countywide consolidated municipal court system. And that would affect affordability. Do the job better at less cost, which I think is a motto for any government. Where do we stand now? You did promise back at the beginning when you did vote against this to follow it and to bring to the public the information that you learned from their results and costs and so on. So the question is, where do you stand now?
Sure. Actually, the county court came in. They did another presentation in, I think, August to give an update where they were. And actually, the information they presented was almost exactly the same. Part of what they said is that the court hadn't been open long enough to really give us any new data. We're continuing to monitor the county court. We're talking with other municipalities to see, but as we said before, that we were going to monitor it probably for the first 2 years to see if it made sense. Right now, I don't see that there's any change. I don't think anyone on council saw that there was any new information that was presented, but we will continue to monitor it.
Yeah, I thought the column put in there by Judge Mendez was very interesting and very persuasive. So if you didn't read it, I hope you will, because I think this is something that's coming, and eventually you'll probably get aboard. But in the meantime, when you consider affordability, that's part of the picture.
Sure.
So thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, if there's no other public comment, we'll close the public portion at this time. Any final council comments? Seeing none, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you for joining us, November 2nd meeting and watching your council team at work.